Hello everybody, welcome to Canadian Immigration Channel. Guys, gals, we're always discussing different opportunities for immigration, and this is another option which is typically overlooked by applicants. So say you're looking to come to Canada to find yourself an employer, right? Because many of you know sitting back at home will not help you out, right? Those so-called employment agencies which exist pretty much in every single country in the world, which are promoting immigration to Canada and promising you that they will help you out, probably will not do anything. At the very best scenario, you would just lose your money. So if you're looking to come in and find yourself an employer, it is quite challenging to get yourself a visa. It's quite challenging to justify why you need to come to Canada. And another opportunity, which is very close and could be looked at a way of connecting with employer, is coming here for English studies or French studies, which will allow you to be employed in Canada. So here is how it works in details. There are several schools which are in fact approved by the government to the point where you're studying half of the semester and practicing your English or French, and afterwards you are given the legal permission to work in Canada, and this school actually gives you a chance and provides you an employer which will allow you to put yourself a line in your resume that you were working in Canada, and in fact that could work for you as the first connection with Canadian employers. Because say stepping out of the street saying, hey, I got a tourist visa, I got my temporary resident visa in Canada, and I'm desperately looking for an employer who would sponsor me, in 90% of cases won't work unless say you're a truck driver, an IT specialist, which might actually play on your behalf. In most of the cases it just won't, right? So what I wanted to tell you about is those schools which would allow you to elaborate your language status, to upgrade them, if you will, to a legal work permit. Again, it's not a permit which will allow you to get sponsorship immediately, but that's the first step and first connection with Canadian employers. So those of you who are looking to get yourself 50 points in express entry system, sometimes maybe 200 points, provided that you were offered the senior position, or transform it into provincial nominee program with employment support, well, this is another way for you to come to Canada, start your language studies. And by the way, there are certain countries which will not fall into this category, and we will talk about them in a second. Well, after those language studies, you would get yourself a guaranteed employment, which is provided by this school. And after this employment, well, if you want, you could discuss with your employer potential sponsorship and stay with them, or meanwhile you would be able to look for another employer in Canada who would sponsor you. Now, speaking about countries for which it will not work, well, the biggest one would be India, because officially, guys, your language is English, therefore it would be very hard to justify to immigration officers why you're coming to study English in Canada, or while, say, your first language or your official language is English already. For all other countries, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, for Eastern and Western Europe, it works perfectly fine, provided that you could justify why you're coming to study. It could be business English, it could be specific training, it could be English together with, say, marketing courses, which will allow you to work better back home. So this justification would work perfectly fine. If you want to discuss it in more details, if you want to look at this pathway more closely, well, feel free to drop us a line and we'll set up a consultation and discuss it with you. Stay tuned with us. Don't forget to subscribe for the channel.